everyone. This is John Daly. I'm here with another episode of the Daily Express. I'm very excited about today's discussion. I have long argued personally that the most blatant form of false advertising is the humor section of a store's greeting card aisle. But this man, ladies and gentlemen, has almost single-handedly proven that thesis to be wrong. He is the owner of Bald Guy Greetings, which produces the funniest greeting cards probably known to man. I'm talking about Ian Kalman. How's it going today, Ian?
It's going well. I'd like to listen to that every morning. Thank you for for saying such nice things. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
apologize
Well,
in advance if I'm not funny here.
what's that?
I said I apologize in advance if I'm not funny right now. I'm very nervous about this, as you know, of course.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. No worries. We'll insert some jokes later in
Please.
these slow moments. No.
Great.
Well, thanks for joining me. Before we go much further, I do want to mention that listeners today will be offered a special discount code for your cards on your website. We'll get into that later, but for now, I just wanted to talk about you a bit, Ian. I have referred to you in the past as the Don Rickles of stationery. You have harnessed the power and creativity of sharp-witted, often pretty harsh insult humor in a 7 by 5 inch format to be presented to individuals who, in most cases, probably aren't prepared for such a wicked takedown of themselves. And my first question is, do you feel in this often overconfident culture in which we live that you are actually doing kind of a public service by taking people down a couple notches on occasions in which they are expecting to be celebrated?
No, but I try not to. We're not mean cards. I don't think we're just people are so used to like a Hallmark card that builds, fluffy and says these beautiful things, and there's a hummingbird on the front, and we're not that. We're just more. I consider it honest, and I do hear people say they're mean, of course, but they're just honest, fun-loving, and they're cards you give to your good friends, your family that gets your sense of humor, and hopefully it sounds like you more than Hallmark card sounds like you. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. No, that's a good way of describing it. If you don't mind, I'd like to read a few examples of your work. I have a whole stack of your cards here in my house. I have as many as I do mainly because I really like them, but also because I tend to forget that I don't have that many friends to give them to. So I get sort of an overstock of them. But I'm going to read a few, and hopefully I won't botch the delivery because that would be awkward for both of us. But I'll try my best. So, on the front of this one, enjoy your birthday. Please, please, please don't think about getting older. You open it up. But we should talk soon about where you'd like to be buried and who you'd like to give the eulogy at your funeral. Didn't botch it too well, but it's a
No, that's
great
fine.
one.
Yeah, it wasn't too mean, right? I mean, it's everyone knows they're gonna pass away eventually, and we're not rubbing it in. We're just kind of
That's
shining a
right.
light.
Just
Reality,
stating it as
reality.
a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So this one, you could easily pass for 29. All you'd have to do is explain to people that you've lived a very hard life, and that's why you look so much older than a normal 29-year-old.
Okay.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Um,
Another killer card. Thank you.
yes, absolutely. I should show the covers of some of these because the artwork is great as well. But you are absolutely my favorite person in the world, and that's why it bums me out that you are not aging as well as I am. I like it.
Nice.
Last one I'll do on the insulting list here. Another great some great artwork there. The most insulting birthday card ever. Hey, happy birthday, dick face. What did you expect? You read the front of the card, right? So that is
No, that
great.
was
So
me. I agree. I hear you on that. And yes, of course, of course. And we
that's
apologize
exactly
immediately,
right.
buddy.
And a couple more because these aren't really insult cards, but they're very, I think, clever. They're outrageous. Again, we can talk about the artist that you have with you as well. But happy birthday! May all your wishes come true, except for that one about the Vietnamese girl and all those ping pong balls. That one cracks me up every
Of
time
course,
I
we
read it.
apologize to the Vietnamese community. That was just a joke. We love you all. Of course. Of course.
I love that there's a disclaimer that has to come with each
There's gonna
one
be
of
one
these.
on one on every card. Yeah.
Yes. Last one I'll do. Last one I'll do. Some things get better with age. Testicles are definitely not one of them. Happy birthday. So
Okay.
that killed me. But so I'm trying to imagine you, Ian, workshopping these types of cards with your wife and your friends, and I'm wondering, do they sometimes just kind of look at you with sort of a blank glaze on their faces, or do they immediately kind of understand and let you know what they think and validate the humor and all that?
I'd say it's a mix of both, but I mean, my friends and the people that I run these by, my focus groups and stuff, they know me. They know, that I talk like that. It's just that's all it is. It's the voice that I speak with in real life put into a card, and I think it's when we reach out to stores, they're a little taken back at first, and then they try the cards and people love them, so they do well. But getting into the store at first is tough, and I haven't lost any friends or anything about the cards. They get them, they love them, they give them out as well. Um, that's the thing. Is just give it to someone has a good sense of humor. Don't give them to someone you just met off, and you're at a party with no one people you don't know. Don't do it then. Maybe.
Exactly. That's good advice. Well, it's interesting. I found first time I found one of your cards, and I've told you this story before. I was one of my favorite places is Estes Park, Colorado. It's just about a little over an hour west of where I live. But the Warm Hug store there, it's sort of a unique gift shop. But yeah, I was looking through them, and there's a whole display of your cards. I bought so many that day. I thought they were so creative. When I was checking them out at the cash register, the lady said they're actually explain that you call from sometimes just to kind of check in with things and always make them laugh when you do that. What was that?
I'm sorry. Yeah, our best stores in the country. It's Mary Jane's is like the overall brand, and they're awesome, really good. Owned
They are.
by.
They are. So what are some of your personal favorites of the cards that you've created?
Ooh, wasn't expecting that question, but no, this one is one of my favorite all time favorites. Very relatable to everybody. It's I don't know if you can see that. It's just says "Happy Birthday from us," and then the inside says, "Sure, the card says from us, but I think we both know who bought the card and who just signed their name." So kind of a card for couples to give, and it's usually obviously the one part of the couple that is used to giving the cards, and it's just a observation, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. It's honest. It's honest.
Yeah.
So you have a sort of an interesting origin story for Bald Guy Greetings. It began several years ago with you writing a funny message on a friend's birthday cake. Can you tell that story? I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I love that you know that. That's amazing. You read the website.
I
Um,
do. It's a great website too. It's a great website.
yeah. I used to work in advertising, writing commercials and billboards and print ads and stuff for an ad agency in San Francisco called Goodby Silverstein and Partners. I'm not giving them a plug. They don't need it. They're one of the best agencies in the world. But I had taken a sabbatical, a little time off after being there about 8.5 years, and it was a friend's birthday party, and we were going to it. It was his 35th birthday, and I went to pick up the cake, and they said, "Do you want something written on it?" Tell me if I'm going on too long about this, but and I just said, yeah, it's just maybe happy 35th birthday. If this were the 1700s, you'd probably be dead. And gave him the cake, and people at the dinner laughed, and they thought it was great. They jokingly said you should start a line of greeting cards, and I laughed it off. It wasn't something I was planning on doing. And then I was on a flight. I don't know if this is on the website, but I was on a flight and I just started writing cards and what I would do if I did that, just as a side project. And by the end of the flight, I had maybe 60 cards written, and I liked a good chunk of them. It was a long flight. It was a long flight. So I asked a friend if he wanted to do the artwork for him, and he's like, oh, I don't know if I have time. I don't know if I have time. So I asked another friend that ended up being the artist, Sean Farrell. He does amazing pen and ink illustrations, and um, we just started it as kind of a joke. We narrowed it down to 16 cards from 60. I ran it by maybe 20, 25 of my closest friends that I thought were funny and they were smart, and they're all in advertising, so they know if the cards could be marketed and if people would want them, if there's a need. And we got it down to 16 and printed them and went to a trade show, the National Stationery Show in New York, and we were hit. So we kind of just, it took off from there, and it became, after a few years, it became more of a full-time job, and I kind of stopped freelancing and stopped working in advertising. And that's it. Might be a much easier story to read on the website. It's like a paragraph, whereas I'm babbling, and I apologize immediately.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. No, it's a great story, and it's like it's one of those, all American stories where you hear people, they come up with this idea and they stick to it and they become successful with it, and you're doing what you love, I assume, correct?
I love it. Yeah, every day I love it. Yeah, for sure. Advertising was my dream job growing up, or in high school and college, and this I love 10x more than that. It's nice to be your own boss and write something that you think is funny and just be able to make it rather than going through levels of approvals. Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So, sort of on the business side of that, I did have a question. What do you see as a small business owner? What do you see as the biggest obstacle to small businesses these days?
I think just making an impact or getting discovered. I mean, there's just so much stuff. I mean, it seems like now's the time that through Instagram and TikTok and all that is such an easy time to get discovered, but there's just so much stuff that you need to break through to get noticed. We're not good at that. I'm not great at that at all. If you go to our like Instagram page, we have, we don't have a ton of, 100,000 followers. We don't have a million followers. But it slowly got out there, slowly, and word of mouth, and people would see the cards in stores. Like the one in Estes Park, we get all the time. We get other stores that saw us there, or a store in San Francisco called Lola of North Beach. They always see it there. So we get a lot of new stores coming through there. We're in LAX at this Hudson News, and yeah,
Oh,
it's all
great.
just word of mouth. We put our website on the back of each card, so hopefully people can learn, figure out to contact us through that as well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Hudson's a big one. That's great that you're in there, especially it's one of the biggest airports probably in the world, I would imagine. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, you're right. Social media is pretty tough. I do a lot of work with that myself, whether it's for the book stuff or the political writing or whatever I do, and it's yeah, it's you never know what's gonna really strike with people. You put out something you think is very clever and it really doesn't go anywhere, and then you make some throwaway comment and it goes viral. But yeah, it's very tough to understand. But speaking of exposure, you posted a video a while back. I think it was on social media, on your Instagram account, probably elsewhere, that I thought was pretty amazing. One of the most, I would say, beloved actors of our time, Denzel Washington, actually read one of your cards on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. It was part of a skit, sort of a narrative skit.
Okay, it says, you make me so happy. But I have to get the dramatic glasses for. Dude, I like that. I love that Denzel Washington laughs at cars.
It's funny to me.
I know, I love that. Oh, you. You make me so very happy. I'll be honest though, cheese makes me pretty happy too.
Yeah.
I'm curious, did you know ahead of time that that was going to happen, or did it happen and then your phone just started ringing off the hook after that?
Yeah, I wasn't I didn't know. They didn't contact us. They didn't say bald guy greetings. Would have been amazing if
Yes.
he would have just said bald guy greetings. But no, I had friends that called me that night after they saw it, and they were like, how'd you get on there? And I don't, what are you talking about? And I went back and I found it, and I was just like in awe. I was so excited, but I was also waiting for them to say bald guy greetings, and they didn't say it. So it was awesome to be on there, and Denzel Washington is, fantastic. He was fantastic. It was a dramatic reading of the greeting card, which was nice. It was fun.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, no,
very
I didn't.
cool, and I noticed that as well. It's kind of a bummer they didn't throw out the names. I'm guessing maybe someone on Fallon's staff, went into one of these stores and saw that and recognized, how good it would be for that. Um, and one thing I wanted to mention, so Bald Guy Greetings sells more than cards. I mean, that's your primary product for sure. You also sell Bald Guy, gift wrapping paper, or hats, magnets, other things. There's also a service that you provide for, I think it's just for Mother's Day and anniversaries now. You've scaled it back a little bit. For
I mean,
$25, they're called card bailouts. Can you describe what those are, Ian?
yeah, it's kind of like yeah, we do it for a bunch of occasions. We started off with Mother's Day, and then we tried it for Valentine's Day. The idea is if you forget to get somebody a card, you order this, and then give me the person's name and the number, and I'll call them and say, I'm so sorry. They did order you a card. It's our fault that it didn't get there in time. Please don't be mad at them. I apologize. And it always goes over well. It's like they're like, everyone's, don't worry about it. I'm I appreciate that they went through this trouble to have you do this. So I think coming from like the owner of a greeting card company saying it's our fault is always helps bail the person out. The bad part is they think that I'm a irresponsible greeting card company, that I'm not getting the cards there in time. So I didn't think it out 100%, but it's fun to do, and I love it. Especially people have me call like their mom if they like the mom knows my cards, or if someone knows the cards, it's even better because they're excited to hear from us, or So yeah, it's fun. I love doing it, and I will keep doing it for as long as people want me to, of course. Yeah.
See, and that's a service that Hallmark does not provide. Am I correct?
They do not. Yeah. No, I don't know why. I guess I feel like we probably just care more than Hallmark does, or
Exactly.
about the customer. So that's probably it. Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, so I mentioned this earlier, Ian. You have been gracious enough to give a 20% discount off your cards via your website, baldguygreetings.com. I'll put that in the show notes. That's for
Oh yeah.
Daily Express listeners. Thank you very much for that. The code is Daly, Daly. I'm not sure where you came up with that. But I assume you just
I'm
put
not-
that in at checkout when someone goes to your site.
yeah, there'll be like a little section that says promotion code or discount code, and you type in Bailey, and you get 20% off. Yeah. But I was trying to think of a funny way of where it came from, but obviously it's your last name, so I have
Yes.
to cut this part out where I'm babbling. Okay.
That's right, and I'm not getting commission off this. People, some people might accuse me. That's just I'm sort of like can't even say her name. Oprah Winfrey. Thank you. In that I have like these favorite things, shows where I tell people what my favorite things are. I'm not, getting people to best-selling books sold, all that stuff. But no, it's when I run into things that I like, that I think are very creative. I want to get it out there. So that's why I wanted to have you on the show, because I think this is really a great product. And maybe part of it's maybe you think as I think. I love the way you present these things, present
All
these
right.
messages. I think it's brilliant.
That's who we're for. Yeah, for sure. Like with people that we're not for everybody, but the people that get us love us, and we're for them. And yeah, and definitely you're not getting anything from this. We are paying you zero. I want to make that
That's
very clear to you. I want to have it on video. Nothing. Okay.
that's right.
All
I've
right.
asked for free things, and you won't even think about it. You just shut me down.
I remember hanging up on you several times when you do that. Yeah, of course.
That's
No,
right. That's right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Ian. I'm a big fan of your work, as I said. You have
so much.
stepped up to the plate where Hallmark has failed, and I believe America is better off for it.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I apologize that I'm not being funny right now. I'm much more charming in real life. I promise you.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I thought you were great. I thought you're great. I enjoyed talking to you. I wish you continued success, and I hope you have a great 2025.
nice. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great 2025 as well, and every year after that, of course, for sure.